Hi, my name is Chisholm, and I am going to show you how to put some vinyl on a shirt, and from start to finish. So I'm not going to edit it, so there's going to be some moving around the camera and stuff, so just bear with me or do whatever. And I'm going to show you the equipment and what to do, so there's not bits and pieces. Now if you have something different than what I'm using, well, I don't know what to tell you. But anyway, what we're going to be doing is putting this, which looks kind of weird right now, but that's going to be on a shirt. And I got this from a printer, and then you heat press this on, and you can see these little lines and stuff. This isn't nearly as detailed as what I'm going to create. This is pretty simple at a low cost, especially if you're making multiple shirts and have a business and you can use all images. It's pretty cool. This is my company, Bear Down Billiards, and so that's a pool player guy walking with a pool cue and says Bear Down. So first of all, I have a Stahl's Max heat, whatever it's called, Stahl's Hotronix Max press. It doesn't have the auto open. This one brand new was $700. The good news is if you get out of the business or you get tired of it, these have very high resale. I could put this on Craigslist and probably sell it for $650 or $600, I'm guessing, or on eBay. And then for the cutter, I use a Cricut Explore Air 2. This thing is awesome. It's a little over $200 if you buy it directly, brand new with a warranty, which I recommend. I found some cheaper, but it didn't come with a warranty. So, but I haven't had any problems whatsoever. So let me give you the quick rundown here of what to do with the software, and you can do this with any image. I'm going to zoom in on this computer screen. Hopefully you'll be able to see it and I won't get in the way. Alright, so this is the Cricut. I'm sitting on a nice little folding thing. This house is void of furniture right now. This is why this is in the kitchen instead of the office. So it opens up to this page, and first thing you would do is hit a new project. These are ones I've already created, but I'm going to show you from start, like I promised. So new project, and it comes up to this screen, and then down here it says upload. And now pretend all of these aren't here. So upload image. Pretend this is blank and this is your first time. And this is software that is just on their site, on the Cricut site, and that's spelled C-R-I-C-U-T, Cut, but Cricut. That's the name of the vinyl cutter. So hit upload image. Browse. I'm just going to pick one of these, which is kind of what I started with originally. Okay, so here's my image. Now, if you can see all these little checkerboards here, this is the part that won't cut. This is the part that it'll leave on the vinyl. Now, see there's the black part, and then there's white, and then there's the checkerboard. The checkerboard will be removed, which is what I want. But this white part I don't want, otherwise this would all be one image. It doesn't distinguish one color because you're just using one piece of vinyl. If you want multicolor, you would have to cut two different images and then heat press one on and then lay the other one on top and heat press, which you can do, but that's not what this video is about. So here, all you do is first, it says select image type, simple, moderately complex, or complex. I just picked complex because it's very fine points. I haven't tried the other two. I figure why not just use the best. It says fine detail, blended colors, or low contrast between subject and background. The image is more challenging to work with. I like a good challenge. So pick that and now hit continue. And now you can't see my image because it's really zoomed out or in. So I hit this zoom out, and now here it comes into picture. So now you see all this white. I want to get rid of the white and just keep the black. So the black will be not necessarily black unless you're using black vinyl. I'm going to be using this apple green. So, and it says right here, click on the areas of the image you want to remove. Use advanced options below or additional controls. I can't remember what the advanced options are, but well, you can click on that and mess with it. I'm just showing you with what I use. So I put it on this white part, and check this out. Boom. They all disappeared. So it's now all these checkerboards are all gone. The only thing left is black. Now if you see this little sliver guy in the middle, it's not touching any of the checkerboard, so that is still white. So you would just go in here and then click again, and now there's checkerboard. You won't be able to see it, but I can see it in there. If you keep double clicking it, it doesn't like revert it back. So you can just keep clicking it just to make sure. So I do all of these, and now it's good to go. And oh, now the bear down part. Yeah. Now I already have this image saved, but and then you hit continue. And now save as a print then cut image, or save as a cut image. The print then cut, I can't remember, I read about it. It's like you print it first, like on a printer, and then you cut it. I don't know why you do that. I guess if you're making like a card instead of like for a t-shirt. But for a t-shirt, you want to save it as a cut image because you're just using the blade feature, which will cut this vinyl. So anyway, I've already done this, and I'm not going to hit save because I already have it saved. So now I am going to upload, and now this is the one I've been using right here. So I hit this, so this will show up in this, now after you save it, it'll show up in this little map thing. And then I hit insert image. And now here it is really big. Now on the top here it says width, and it just gives you these numbers. I don't know where they come from, but it says 20.063, height 8.036. Those are in inches. Well, because I've already measured out my shirts and I made a bunch of them already, I already know that I want this image to be 8.75 inches wide. So I go to the wide up here where it says size. Oh, and you want to expand this to full screen. If this is in like kind of a half box, sometimes this width and height doesn't show up, so that expands it and it'll pop up. So I go in here and just delete all these, and 8.75. And then you hit enter, and then the height will adjust automatically. Now it's at 3.62. So here's my image. This is what I want. And you want to make it easy to make sure you place this on the cutting board at the right spot. It's easy just to have it in the corner. So if you drag it all the way out of the picture, it'll then, like, you'll see, it'll see how it's disappeared. Now when I let go, boom, that's the max, that's the top left. And so that's all you need if you're just doing one image. If you're using like letters and words, you can click this, and it's this looks different over here. It'll isolate the letters, and you want to hit attach because otherwise it cuts the letters individually. Like it'll have like a B and then an E and then an A instead of the whole image. But if you want the image like you've already typed out, then you want to hit attach, and then the whole word will come out like that bear down. This is all one image that I created, and you can use a vector file or a PDF or JPEG. You can use just about anything. So you have to find your image and create it. You know, there's countless sites out there to create an image. We are here. So I'm ready to go. So now I'm going to hit make it. And it's sitting up there, and now it's really dark. Now, this is very important. You want to hit the mirror button. Right now, this would print it out the way you would read it, but it's when you put it on your shirt, it would be backwards, so you wouldn't be able to read the letters. You'd be able to read them, but in a mirror, it'd be like red rum from the shining. So there it is. Continue. Now, as far as the vinyl goes, there are a ton of different options. I use Stahl's fashion film. That's my favorite. It's extremely thin, but great quality, easy to work with. I've used other ones and they're thicker. This one has like 50 different colors, and they're all matte colored, or most of them. Stahl's has a whole bunch of other ones, but I personally like matte instead of glossy. So that's what this is on this shirt, and I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but there's no gloss to it whatsoever. And I can barely feel this; it's so thin. It's great. When you're attaching it to just polyester, that's where it can get tricky. And if you don't have the settings right, and you don't have enough heat or not enough pressure, or if you don't do it for long enough, then the letters can peel when you wash them. And once you get the settings down, it's fine. Now, if you're putting it on a cotton shirt or a blend, then you really don't have any problem. It really sticks well with cotton, as long as cotton's in it. And the shirt we're going to be using is a blend of polyester and cotton. It's like 50-50 or 60-40 or something like that. So anyway, now it's ready to go. So I hit continue. And now it says to continue, please connect your Explore. That's the Cricut. So I'm going to move over here. Zoom out there. Alright. So it's just a cord that comes out of the back of that with a USB. Click that guy in. And then this, you just turn it on, hit the open button. And it comes with this thing. Let me take that off. It's this little sticky board that holds it. And you can, sometimes they wear out. I've used mine a bunch and it hasn't. I've just washed it with like one water and it's still sticky. It's sticky enough. It stays sticky. I've read online that some people are like, oh, mine ran out of stick and they have to buy a new one. These can get kind of pricey, so, but for what I use it for, I haven't had any problems. So now I take my vinyl, and you got this shiny side and you got the matte side. You want the matte side up and the shiny side down, because this is the clear piece of film that will be the part that doesn't print, but that all the sticky stuff is stuck to. I'm probably not phrasing that well, but you'll see when we cut it. So now I'm gonna, because I put that image, remember on the very top left, I'm gonna put this on the top left. So I just, I don't know if you guys can see it. Just, so remember, matte side up. And there you have it. Now for the cutting settings, there's a whole bunch of preset, and then there's a custom. And the custom one, when you put it on custom and go on the Cricut site on this thing, it will give you options of what custom means and how much pressure. It will take some experimenting, and then what you'll do is you save it as what particular product you're using, and for vinyl, because vinyls have different thickness and stuff. So what it's going to do is cut through this just enough to cut it, but not go through that clear film underneath. And it took me about 7 different times of just barely adjusting it. Like first it was going too deep and cutting through both of them, and then I dialed it back, and then it wasn't cutting the top one enough, and so I adjusted it, and then once I found it, I'll never have to deal with it again. I just know that when I'm using this vinyl, I put it on that setting, on the custom, and it'll say, so right here it says my material says fashion film, and that is, I saved it under fashion film because that's what it's called. So the setting is perfect every time I use this thing for the blade. If I was going to use some other product and something that was a lot thicker, then I would find the right setting, save it under that name, and that's what I would hit. I would go through the list of things, but I hit favorite. If you don't hit favorite, it'll pop up this huge list of things, but it's easier just to save it as a favorite. Those are all steps and stuff that you can monkey around with and find. I found it on my own and didn't have to do, it's not rocket science, but it's solving the puzzle. So anyway, so we got this, you put it in underneath these little grooves, and then this first left button has a little double arrow. It's a feed button. So it fed it in there, and now I can't pull it out. That's good. If it didn't grip it, then you just do it again until you can't pull it out. So now I hit this fashion button. And now it says press go. Speed automatically set. This thing you can do a regular setting and then a fast speed. I think when you pick complex, it only does it in one speed. It doesn't give me the option to do fast, but it's fine. It'll do this detailed image in just, I don't know, like 3 minutes, something like that. And so it says press the go button. This blinking one is it. So you hit this, and there we go. The first time I got this and I was doing it, I was like, there's no way this is going to work. And then I was like, this is amazing. How does it do it? How do we put people on the moon? I just have to ask the conspiracy people. Flat earthers. Oh God. No offense to any of you flat earthers out there, but you people are nuts, in my personal opinion. Alright, so, and it has the percent, so it's already 30% done, so it's not going to take long. While that's happening, and when this is done, you take these tools, and this, I think I bought these separately, if I remember. It's a little pack. You don't have to buy like a Cricut or something, or a name brand. On Amazon they make them. This was called NICAP something, and it was like $10 to get all these little tools and that scissor. This also has a pen. You can stick a pen right there, and it'll draw, so you can make like cards, like a thank you card or something, instead of using your chicken scratch handwriting like I have. This thing will make an intricate little drawing for you. This is using a blade. I don't know how long the blade lasts. I mean, I haven't had to replace it yet. And so then you have a thing called weeding. And if you're watching this, you probably already know what that is, but if not, it's your first time, then that's the process of removing all of the the space, all of the vinyl that you're not going to attach to the t-shirt off of this thing and leaving one that's on there. And for the most part, it's really easy. It's just the little inner guides that are not connected to the vinyl that you have to dig in and lift up, but it's easy. When you do it, you get faster and faster. And I've got the heat press all heated up, so when we get to that stage, we'll be ready to go. You can fast forward a little bit until this thing's like, we're at 62%. These things come in a ton of different colors. They come in a bunch of like pastel colors and stuff, like lima bean green and light pink and stuff like that. And white. I like this black one. I think that looks sharp, but I'm a guy, so they definitely have a bunch of feminine, or I don't know if feminine's the right word, but colors that females seem to be attracted to, which, let's be honest, it's probably mostly females that are in the arts and crafts thing, but this is for, I play a lot of pool, and so this is my pool clothing company that I started up. I thought I was just going to make a couple shirts, and for me and my friends, that'd be it, but they're getting wildly popular, and so I'm like, well, I either fold up shop or turn it into a business and see where it goes. So that's what I'm doing, kind of grassroots, but it's going well. Oh, all right, whoa, we're getting close, 88%. Come on, Cricut. I guess it was a little longer than 3 minutes. Maybe it's like 5 minutes for this one. If you do like just letters, like just spelling out words, it is fast. It's really fast. Oh, it's done. So now you hit this little double arrow, so right now it's stuck. You hit this to release it. Boop. And you just peel this guy off. Alright. Now you're not going to be able to see this, but I can see it. It's cut in there, but you will see this in a minute. Let's see. Let me get a good viewing angle here. Alright, that's as far as I can zoom out. Oh, come on, Woodson. That's my last name. Gotta be smarter in the camera. And we're back. I accidentally turned it off. That's great. Now I'm gonna have to splice these together. And here we go. This is part 2, or hopefully I'll be able to splice these together. So I have this image, and it's easier to start with the corners. So you just kind of dig down and pull that up. See how that peeled? There's a little piece of plastic right there. You probably can't see it. And then I do both corners first. And then you hold that down with your finger. And now you just grab it. And you can be tougher with this. I mean, you can sit and peel pretty hard. Now, because this is really intricate, I tend to go a little slower. You can go faster if you want, but I don't know. Let's see. Oh, another thing about this, depending on the color, they have different thickness for some reason. I don't know why. This green one's a little thicker and a little stickier, so it's some of the colors just really pull off easy. This one takes a little bit more force, but and I don't know if you can see that little green line. That's the little pull cube, and for some reason it just doesn't peel up. when you do this. I don't know, it's like magic. Here we go. Now this is where I start doing it slowly, because I'm going to get a lot of detail coming out of this. I also heard that it's better if you have all these little intricate little lines, it's best to pull against them and not with them. I don't know why. I just had read that somewhere, or saw a video actually. And see all these little fingers starting to come up. And I do it slowly because I want the little fingernails to be on there, which they are, amazingly. First time I was doing this, I was like, holy crap, you got to be kidding me. How is this working? And you can see down here on the bottom, yeah, see, like it takes longer to peel off. It just depends on how it does it. And see, this up top, it's like connected. Don't worry about it. And those little pieces will get off later. And sometimes they'll peel off, like right now it might peel. But what'll happen is, if you do the same shirt over and over again, it always peels in the exact same way every single time. And the little pieces that it leaves behind, it always leaves the same little pieces behind that you remove. And there we go. And on the bottom of the shoe, it's gonna leave that, and I'll have to peel that off, or weed it off, is the how the cool kids say it in the crafts community. I don't know if there are any cool kids in the crafts community. I'm sure they're out there. I'm doing it. I'm cool. Just ask me. Alright, so now this one's easy. I mean, you can see that needed to come off. And now if any of these are sticking up, you just take your finger and push it back down. Now see, here's a little remnant guy. You want to make sure you get all, oh, that's on the bottom. You want to make sure you get all of those off, or else they'll be stuck to your shirt and you'll be like, "Vah!" And then you gotta quickly take something and try to peel it off. If that doesn't work, you can use a nail polish remover and a Q-tip. Make sure you're only putting that on the part you want to remove. But the faster you do it after it gets out of the heat press, the better. Okay, so there's a little tiny thing right here. You don't have to go on the edge. You can go right in the middle. So let's say it's like something like that. You don't have to start over here to peel it. You can start right in the middle. You just don't want to put this little thing. It's like doing surgery, I guess. You don't want to put this on the part that you want to keep, and you don't want to pry that up, because you might have to start over depending on how much damage you do. So, in a clever way I found to lift it up, so you get this underneath, and then if you just take your finger and then put it on top of it, so now you got the vinyl in between your finger and this metal hook. It makes it really easy to, and then just lift it up, and voila, it's gone. And then that little guy's on there. You want to make sure you get him off of there in a way. There's another one. Deek. Yep, I just made that sound. Deek. There's another one. And what you can do is, if you're not sure if you've removed everything, you can go back to your image and look at it and compare the two. There's one right here. And now this, like, see that little thing right there? that guy, I take that off because in the reverse and the negative of this image, it looked good. I had it made two ways. It was like this, and then this was white, where the rest of the part that I made was white. But anyway, that was like a little Nike symbol, and I'm not affiliated with Nike, in case you couldn't guess that. So you just take that off, or I do. If you like Bob Ross, happy little tree. All right. So now I just take the inside of these letters out, and sometimes you don't have to use your finger. You can just, it'll stick to this little tool. You can just like dig it under there. And they say, I read on this, or not read, again, I watched a video where they said that you could just do that and you don't have to clear it off, and you just do like a whole bunch and just stack them up on here. I find that I didn't like that because it gets hard to see, like when you have a thing stuck to it like this, and then you're digging, like you can't see where you're digging. So unless they're really big pieces like this, for the little small pieces, I recommend pulling each and every single one of them out. Oh, here's another one right here, big long one. And I'm going right in the middle again to make sure, because the middle is the biggest part. So instead of trying to grab where it's really narrow, as you can see on that, like right there, see all these really skinny little points? I just went right in the middle where it's nice and wide, and just went, and it just all pulled up in one section. Once you get started, it just pulls up everything and leaves the rest there. I don't know, it's amazing. And again, remember that you're gonna have to experiment on this setting, because that blade, a little bit too much, then it cuts through this, and then not enough, and it won't separate like this. But once you dial it in, then you only have to do that one. Then you never have to do it again. And just remember to save it as the name of the particular vinyl or material that you're using, whether it's construction paper or anything. There are little pre-settings. They have them written down, like, oh, for, heat transfer paper and stuff. There's so many different heat transfer papers that I don't even recommend it. I would just start tinkering with the custom. All right, so now this is everything. And then what you could do is, see these? So those guys? Nope. That would get stuck to the shirt. All those little green things. And if you put scratches in this, it's fine, or fingerprints, it's not going to show up on the shirt. You don't want hairs on there, because what will happen is a hair could get underneath this vinyl, and then you'll be like, crap, there's a hair sticking out from underneath the vinyl on the shirt, and then you have to like try to break it off, but you can't there's still like a little piece sticking out, and that's not very professional looking. So you can go like this and look at it, and then put it up against a dark surface, or a white surface, just to make sure there aren't little scraps and that you got all your things. But look at how, so look at the difference here. So this came from a store, and it was way more expensive than me doing it myself. And look at the probably shouldn't have done that. No harm. So look at see all these little lines and all those little points? Now look at them right here. Look at how fine they are and detailed. And here they're just glopped together. They take like three individual little points, and make them one. This is so much more professional looking. And that little cutter. And I talked to screen printers, and they were like, oh no, we just can't do it, or the vinyl will rip, or they give me all these things. I'm like, you're a big professional company and you charge an arm and a leg. Like, why can't you do it? And then I found out I can do it, and I'm like, all right, their loss. So now let me adjust this so I can get to the teeth applying it part. All right, let's see. Bear with me. Let's go over here. All right. Yeah, that's pretty good. So this is already turned on and heated up. Don't touch that unless you don't like your skin. So it's my t-shirt. And I got this little guy on Amazon. It's called Logo Grid It. This thing's a lifesaver because before I was just kind of guessing, and then I'd like, I think that's straight, and then I'd lift up the shirt and go, that's not straight. I mean, maybe it was just a little bit off, but my OCD was like, no, I cannot. Not only can I not sell this, I can't even wear it. It drives me nuts just looking in the mirror. So here's what I do here. So when I actually print it, I'll slide it up, but all right, I'm getting ahead of myself. So I take the two shoulder seams and I put them right on the edge of it. This doesn't have to be necessarily centered because I just know it has to be centered to the bottom of this opening. And I already know that I want it from this bottom collar, I want the image to start 3 inches below for my particular design. So as long as these two are matching up here, that means I know that it's right that way. I will put it in the middle just to make myself feel better. Okay, and then you want to put this down for like 3 seconds to smooth it out. Don't clamp it all the way down, because what happens is when you pop it up, it'll go pop, and then it'll like move the shirt. So you just want to just rest it on there for like 3 seconds, or 4, 3 or 4. Now it's right on there. And then I take this guy, put that in the middle, and then I make sure that this little line is right on this. You can use whatever you want to reference it. So I can see that it's a little bit off. Yep, there we go. Now I want this. So now you want the sticky side down. So now I can read it. I can read that the bear down. And again, you do one final inspection to make sure there's not any little loose pieces stuck on this thing that aren't supposed to be there. And we're good. And I know where the center is on my particular thing is. So I try to eyeball it, and then if it's not right, I just lift this thing up again and adjust it. And sometimes you nail it first try, sometimes you don't. That's okay. You're still a good person. Okay. So now I know that that's, I'm just going to move it over a hair. And oh, that's nowhere close to 3. Neither is that. focusing it. There we go. That's pretty close. And now for my particular image, the bear down is what I want straight. The pull cue actually slants a little down, so it's easy for my eye to try to make this level when actually it's not supposed to be. I want the words level. So what I do is I take this and make sure the little shoulder seams are still lined up. And then I put this right on the bottom of the heat press. And now I make sure that that bear down is directly on a parallel with one of these lines, which it is. And that the pull cue goes down a little bit. It's kind of a double check, which it is. All right. So now I mash it down, so now it's stuck. Not permanently, but now I can shift this up because it's better if you don't have a collar or seam on the press. And now it doesn't matter, like it might look like it's off center because you adjust the shirt, but this thing didn't move because it's stuck on there, so I know I'm good. The settings, I recommend that whatever vinyl settings that they have, add like 5 or 10 seconds to it. The better the heat, the more. But as long as you have one of these, this is important. The craft paper. I don't know. You can buy it generic. I just happen to buy it from stores. I'm sorry, from Stahls. But because I just bought everything all at once. But it's just, you can use this over and over and over and over again, and it comes in a pack of like 15 sheets or something. It's called I don't even know what it's called. Some sort of I don't know. Whatever it is. Oh. Craft paper. That's it, just craft paper. So anyway, you want to put this in, and this will keep your shirt from getting burned. So go like that. It says 15 to 20 seconds. Mine will beep after 20. I leave it going for like, I count like an extra 7 seconds. So I clamp it all the way down. Let that thing run down, and then I'm start beeping. And one of the things I learned were just trial and error and then just watching YouTube videos. But this is your one-stop shop for a video. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And now I peel this guy off. And now I do it for one more time for about another 7 seconds without that, but you still want this on here. Just gives it like an extra seal and it won't burn the shirt. Again, make sure you use this craft paper. I wouldn't use regular notebook paper, it's not very thick. This is made for this. Alright, and now and make sure you don't burn yourself. And look at that. So the little details and stuff. And again, I can barely feel that. Stahl's fashion film. Highly recommend it. And it's a really cool logo. Cool logo, but the thing that I love the most is all this little fine detail that you can't get in a print shop, and you're doing yourself for pennies to the dollar of what they're charging. And you can do it when you want. Now granted, if you're going to be making 200 of them, yeah, it's going to take some time. I mean, because I was sitting here talking, it took longer, but from the setup to the print to the weeding to this part, probably takes me about 20 minutes a shirt. So, but there you have it. I hope you enjoy it, and I would say click like on the link. I don't have one of those. I don't know. You can check out my channel, Stahl. It has nothing to do with this. It's blogs about pool and other stuff, but mostly about pool. If you like pool, or if you don't, and you can learn something. There's some instruction stuff on there, but usually it's funny stories and whatnot, and interviewing people. But it's Stahl, the letter C, and then BALL. But anyway, good luck out there. Have a good one.